Where's the music? Hang on. There we go. Coming to you live from the top secret broadcasting bunker here at Area 52, just outside of Faizabad, Pakistan. This is Pastor Mike, and I am online, and I'm alive. And I still have my soul intact. My soul is still in my body because someone said, Gesundheit, God bless you. I have been sneezing my head off. The air around me, I'm allergic to air, apparently. I'm allergic to oxygen atoms for some reason. I can always tell when nature says spring is here, in spite of the calendar, in spite of the vernal equinox, in spite of little bunnies and lambs and everything else. My body knows, at least here in the state of Missouri, when spring has arrived. About 10 years ago, I've never been allergic to anything in all my, except for penicillin. I can't take penicillin. But I've never really been allergic to airborne things all of my life until about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And all of a sudden, springtime hit, and I just sneeze uncontrollably. My eyes would burn and itch. I mean, so bad. I would just walk around like this, going. People would say, "What are you mad about?" I'm not mad. I'm miserable. And then the inside of my lips would itch. And when I say the inside of my lips, I don't mean this part right here. I mean inside of my lips would itch. I'd like to take a fork and jab it up in between the skins of my lip and just run it around and scratch it in there. Can't do that. But that's what I would like to. And so yesterday, it hit full force. And by the time I got home, I was miserable, sneezing. And I'm not just talking about, it's you, it's you. When I sneeze, it's like anything else I do. It's very loud. And my wife said, "What are you hollering about?" I said, "Honey, it was a sneeze." And I took a lot of Benadryl yesterday, a lot of it, just to get it under control. And so my wife, as smart as she is, I get ready to go to work this morning, and I'm, "Ah-cha!" like that. And she goes, "Here, take this." That little bitty tablet. And I go, "What is this?" She said, "It's Claritin, take it." And I'll have you know that I didn't even know who makes this stuff. I'm not getting paid. This is not an endorsement. This is not anything else other than my wife gave me this little bitty pill. And I have been virtually sneeze-free, which is good because I just recorded the part 4. Is it part 4? Yeah. I think it's part 4. Anyway, Another Jesus. And that part is done. It's in the can. Lindsay's going to start working on it this week, have it ready by Sunday. And it's the last part of Another Jesus. Now I have to start working on Another Spirit, which is going to follow that. And very, very interesting thing that I found out yesterday. I found this out yesterday, and I'm going to be bringing that to you today during the broadcast. And absolutely, you're going to die when you, well, you're not really going to die. You will be stunned and amazed when you see what I have to show you today concerning the Hebrew roots movement and the mark of the beast. And this falls in line with Another Jesus. So hang on to your seats. First thing I want to do, let me get my pieces of paper here. First thing I want to do is we have a friend of our ministry, Joanne. I guess I can give her name because she gives it on the book, Joanne Cecil. And she sent us, we called, and she's one of these New Jersey gals, one of these New Jersey gals. She talks like this. I probably just ruined it. But anyway, she's a fun to talk to. Her and her husband, they love the Lord. They love this ministry in our church, and they have been following us for a long time now. She told me about this, and I asked her permission to share it publicly, and she said she could as long as it helps. She wrote her testimony of having an abortion, and the book is called I Shall Go to Him. And that, of course, that comes from what David said when his firstborn son had died. And this is her testimony of having an abortion. And she talks about how God healed her through it. She misses her child every day. And I like some of the we actually worked on this and put some of the graphics in here. Let me see if I can get that lined up there. I like that picture. All right, I like that picture. But anyway, she sent me an article, and you can get this from our ministry. For your love offering of absolutely nothing, we'll send you a copy of that book. It's called I Shall Go to Him. It's the testimony about the abortion that she had and how God brought her through it. And we'll send that to you in case if you know somebody that's been through that or somebody that's thinking about it, get them a copy of that book, all right? They are free of charge, but they do cost us a little bit. I think something like that would probably cost us $2 or $3 to put together. That's not counting the labor and everything like that. So maybe think about helping us out if you would, all right? And here's her email. Says, Pastor Mike, I'm sending you a link to a WorldNet Daily article regarding Planned Parenthood. It's about granting rights to kill a baby if the baby survives an abortion attempt. And I pulled it up. I think it's still there. Yeah, it is still there. I'm looking at it. A lobbyist for a regional division of Planned Parenthood, the largest abortion business in the United States, says a doctor and a mother should be allowed to decide to kill a newborn who survives an abortion. Are you kidding me? There is something wrong with people who, even after the baby is born, that they decide that they should have the right to say, well, we were going to kill it. It would have been killed. It would have been dead had we not botched the abortion. Now that it's alive and breathing on its own, we're going to kill it. That's murder. That is that by the abortion people's very definition is that if it's in the womb, it's tissue. Once it comes out, it's a human being. Every law in the country forbids the killing of a living, breathing human being. And now they want the Planned Parenthood, started by, what's her name? Yeah, started by her. Hillary Clinton's biggest idol, Margaret Sanger, started Planned Parenthood. Why? Margaret Sanger hated black people, brown people, yellow people, red people, every other kind of people except white Caucasian Europeans. She hated them. She considered them mongrel races. You ought to read some of the stuff she wrote. This woman was pathetic. And Hillary Rodham Clinton models herself after Margaret. Oh, she's one of my heroes. I just love Margaret Sanger, which basically says, this is what Hillary says. I hate black people. I hate Jews. I hate Hispanics. I hate brown people, yellow people, red people, and brown and black people. I hate all of them because all they do is they get in their ghettos and they breed. And the whole purpose behind Planned Parenthood that Margaret Sanger started was a planned genocide of people of various races to kill them off, to put abortion clinics in their communities, to thin out the population of blacks, browns, yellows, reds, and whatever. That was her purpose in it. That's the purpose of Planned Parenthood, and now they're just going to go up a notch with it, and if the child is actually born, they feel that they should have a right. And you want me to tell you something? I think they're already doing it. I think Planned Parenthood and the abortion mills are already killing born babies that survive the botched abortion. They're not admitting it. And any admittance of it is going to get covered up. I think they're already doing it. I think they're doing it, and they now want the law to reflect the fact that they have been doing it and that they have a right to do it. They have a right to kill little innocent babies. I tell you, Planned Parenthood, and I doubt anybody's listening to me, from Planned Parenthood, the pro-abortion, and all of you folks who voted for pro-abortion candidates, Well, you need to understand, I'm a Democrat, and guys got to have money in his pocket. That's the most important thing. We got to have money. We got to get paid a fair wage, and the Democrat Party, they're for the working man. I've heard that until it makes me absolutely sick. You vote for those, you put those guys in office that are pro-queer, pro-sodomite marriage, pro-abortion. You have ruined this country with your political candidates who you sold out for money in your pockets, what you did. You're a sellout. You're a traitor as far as I'm concerned. But these abortion people, they've got a judgment coming upon them. And no, I'm not going to blow up an abortion clinic. And no, I don't think you ought to go blow up an abortion clinic. That's stupid. You are not the arm of the Lord. Get that out of your head. If God said, vengeance is mine, I'll repay. And I can tell you that every abortion doctor, every nurse, every person who has had an abortion and not been forgiven. See, God forgives. God forgives. And that's the whole purpose of Joe's testimony. God forgives. And he heals. But if you had an abortion, you just killed a human being. You offered, now I want you to listen to this, you offered your child on the altar of Molech. Why? So that you would have a better life. That's why they did it in the Old Testament. They felt that if they offered their child to Molech on the altar, that the God would give them a better life somehow, some way. And this is what you did. Why did you get an abortion? Well, you don't understand, Pastor. She was only 15 years old when she got pregnant, and she had her whole life ahead of her. And my goodness, she would have been raising that in high school, not being able to go to college, and on and besides that boyfriend was a bum, and you just don't understand. We had to kill that baby. Listen, you make me sick. When you justify the death of an innocent human being for your own selfish whims and needs, you make me absolutely sick. There's something wrong with you. No, that's not the Claritin talking either. Get a copy of this and share it with people. You know what we ought to do? We ought to come up with some way of putting this PDF online where people can download it. I don't know how to do that. If you got any suggestions, I'd like to hear it. Send me an email. Let's see here, Pastor Mike at kingjamescode.org or kingjamescode@gmail.com. Send me an email. Now, I do want to tell you, I'm going out of town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if you've got emails to send, if you want to make orders, do that. That's fine. But I'm telling you that for 3 or 4 days, nobody is going to be around here, and I mean nobody is going to be around here to answer your email. We're going to Harrison, Arkansas, Thursday. And Gary, Kay, Alicia, Rose, me, Brady, Amanda, Caleb, we're all headed south. And I'm telling you that you're going to hear the sound of crickets and tumbleweeds in the parking lot for the next 3 or 4 days. And so whatever emails you send, there's a good chance we won't even be able to see it. And the reason why is we get so many of them in a day that once they're about 3 days old, they're nearly impossible to catch back up on. So I'm announcing this now. Hold off. Hold off on the emails. If it's orders or whatever, just wait until we get back and then we'll resume. But this is a good trip.